It seems like spring has not only given new life to the flowers, the plants, the vegetation, the earth outside, but also to these makeup brands because there have been so many amazing new releases. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and talk about all these new juicy releases. Okay, so first things first, I literally just opened Instagram and I see that Danessa Myricks, the creative maverick Danessa Myricks, has just announced that she is releasing a new addition to the Yummy Skin family. These are her Yummy Skin Lowlighters, a light reflecting tinted balm to powder formula that blurs, gives a soft focused glow without amplifying texture. It comes in 4 different shades and it's going to be available May 6th. So a lot of Danessa Myricks' products are actually multifunctional. You can use them on eyes, lips, cheeks, face, whatever you want really. She caters a lot towards makeup artistry. It really is for people who want to be more creative with their makeup. They don't want to have limits or bounds. They're really supposed to function in whatever capacity you find useful. So I really like that about this brand. I would be interested to see people using these. From what I can tell on Trend Mood, like the pictures that they've released, the shades look rather dark. There's a pink one, a peachy one, a more like yellowy bronze one, and then a really deep, rich, chocolatey brown. They look beautiful, but for a highlight, I think they would be way too deep for my skin tone. In the promo pictures, it does seem like the models are wearing them as blushes, like a blush lighter. So I would be interested in trying one of these out as like a glowy blush. I've been really into glowy blushes lately, which is crazy because usually I like things that are more blurring, but this actually sounds right up my alley because I love cream blushes that dry down because I don't like when my cheeks feel sticky, and I also don't like blushes that overly emphasize texture. Oh, I just hit myself in the face. I don't like blushes that overly emphasize texture. So this sounds really, really cool. If it can blur, but also give you a glow and be a cream to powder, that might just be my dreams coming true. That might just be my dreams coming true right there. NYX has also revealed that they are releasing Buttermelt blushes. So I think it was about a month or so ago, they released their Buttermelt bronzers. And I actually really, really love that formula. They are super pigmented, but they blend out like a dream. So creamy, so buttery, as the name would suggest. They give a skin-like finish with a hint of luminosity, but it's not glittery. And I also love the scent of it. It smells like coconut. So it's been really amazing. I really, really like the formula a lot. So I'm super excited to see that they're releasing blushes. The only 2 shades that I see right now are a mauve tone and then a very vibrant pink. So I don't know if they're gonna have more shades, less shades, but I would be interested in picking them up because again, I really like how blendable the formula is and how they don't look flat matte on the cheeks. But the shades do scare me a little bit because they look very, very vibrant in the pictures. And from using the bronzers, I know that the bronzers are very pigmented. So I would be kind of scared to have a super pigmented like blush. So we shall see. We shall see. On the subject of blush, Maybelline is actually launching some new liquid blushes that look scrumptious. They come in actually the same container as their lifter glosses, which I feel like is an accident waiting to happen. Don't tell me there's not going to be one person out there that accidentally uses this blush on their lips or their lifter gloss on their cheeks thinking that one was the other. It's gonna happen. I'm already foreseeing it. So anyway, it's called the Sunkisser blush. It creates a radiant look like fresh from vacation. Okay. The tones of this look really, really beautiful. They look more of like those bronzery tones. There's a Blazing Blush, which is a pink, Soul Search, which is a beautiful peach, Summer in the City, which looks like a really scrumptious warm bronze, City Sizzle, which is probably the one I'm most excited about, which is like a rosy color, and Electric Bronze, which looks like more of a neutral bronze with like almost an orangey reflect, it seems like in the pictures. So I'm interested to see people try these on. My only hesitation is that I know in the past Maybelline had their cheek heat blushes, which were sort of a flop. I know a lot of people didn't like those. And I've tried their like glowy 4-in-1 primer, and that had so much sparkle in it and it made me break out like crazy. So I hope that this is not sparkly like that one, but I'm optimistic. I like to see more drugstore brands releasing cream and liquid blushes. They're super trendy, and I feel like there's been a little bit of a gap in the market. A lot of drugstore brands don't do haven't done cream and liquid blushes in the past, so I like to see that gap being filled. Shifting gears from blush to highlight, and this is not drugstore at all. Natasha Denona is releasing the new Hygiene Glow Beautifier. This makes my mouth water. Just looking at it, it looks so just juicy on the face of the models. First of all, let me just say that I love how she doesn't use filters on her Instagram account. You can see the texture on the models' faces up close and personal. It's real skin, but even despite the texture, it still looks so gorgeous. This is it's like a highlight, but I think you can use it under foundation, over foundation. It's sort of another multi-use product that these makeup artists love. She says that you can buff the beautifier onto skin with a face brush under or over your base for the most radiant complexion. I've seen her use this all over the face, and it just looks so juicy on their skin. It makes the model's skin look so juicy and glowy and delicious. And I've also seen her use this as a highlight. I'm actually wearing one of her highlights today from the Glam Face Palette, the lighter version. It is one of my favorite highlighters in my entire collection. I wish I had that as a single because that's my favorite piece of the entire palette, and it's so gorgeous. So I'm really intrigued to try this out. I definitely add it to my Sephora's love list. It looks so gorgeous. Ooh, another cool release that I was really excited to see. LYS is releasing some new shades of their No Limits Cream Bronzer Stick. I personally love the cream bronzer stick. I have the shade Motivate, which previously was the lightest version. However, I did find it to be a little bit intense because it's so pigmented, and the shade was just a hint deep for my skin in the winter months when my skin is super pale. In the summertime, I can get away with it, but I do have to be careful because it is such a pigmented, creamy, emollient formula. It's easy to kind of overdo it. So I'm super excited to see that they're launching a new lighter shade. I think they're launching a new deeper shade as well. Honest and Hope. Oh, they're launching a new lightest shade and then a new medium dark shade. Honest and Hope. Honest is a warm undertone natural finish for medium to tan skin tones, and Hope is a neutral undertone natural finish for fair skin tones. And this one does look a bit lighter than the previous lighter shade, which was Motivate, which I had, and it looks neutral but leaning a little bit yellowy, which I personally really like for my complexion. And this formula is just so amazing. I already know that I love it, so when I do run out of my Motivate shade, I will repurchase, and I probably will get the new shade Hope. Colourpop is also releasing some highlighters. These are called their Multipurpose Liquid Light Glow Drops. Can I just say, I am here for all of the highlights. I am a highlight girly. I love highlights. I know we moved into the era of glowy skin, but somehow people loved glowy skin, but they didn't like highlights. It seemed like an oxymoron to me. How? I don't know. I personally love a highlight because I don't always want my entire face to be glowy because I have texture, lines, things I don't want to emphasize, but I do love a targeted, pinpointed glow. And so I've always loved highlighter. And one of my favorite highlighter formulas is actually from Colourpop. They're Super Shock highlighters. I know tons of people love them. Some of you guys probably love them. Lunch Money, Flexitarian, they are so gorgeous. They just melt into the skin, but they are so blinding without looking streaky or chalky because they're like that cream, Super Shock formula. So these are a liquid formula, and they come in 3 different shades. There's Venice Boulevard, a warm golden bronze, Sun O'Clock, which is an ice champagne, and Petalite, which is a silvery soft baby pink. These look really beautiful. My only hesitation really was that they look very opaque. The colors themselves look very, very opaque. So I have a feeling that if you were to go to try to apply this to the skin, it might look a little bit stripy because honestly, the best highlighters are the ones that are a little bit more translucent in the base so they can look more glass-like on the skin without looking like a stripe or like an eyeshadow. These ones look very, very pigmented, and from the swatches, they look pretty opaque. So I will be interested to see people try this on. I personally am not going to test it out because it does have squalane in it, and my skin, unfortunately, does not like squalane. It always breaks me out. But are you interested in this? What do you think? Would you guys use this as a highlighter? Would it be too messy with the packaging, or would you use it all over the face? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Oh, another highlighter. It truly is the season of highlights, okay? We're moving into the glowy season. Everybody wants to glow. And this one, I think I might actually pick up eventually. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Highlighter. I love the L'Oreal Infallible Powder Foundation, their powder bronzer. amazing. I love a lot of stuff that L'Oreal does. They're one of my favorite drugstore brands. They're more pricey, unfortunately, but they do have really great formulas, I can't deny. And these highlighters, they look amazing. Okay, they're releasing 2 shades, but they swatched both shades on a variety of skin tones and they look like they work. So I'm thinking that these have more of a translucent base, which will allow them to work on a wide variety of skin tones, which may be why they only came out with 2 shades. So there's a very, very icy one called Icy Gold, which literally looks like a very light yellowy gold on the cheeks, which is interesting because a lot of times icy highlighters lean pink or even like purpley or blue. So I like that this one's a little bit different in terms of an icy highlighter. And then they're also releasing one in Champagne Glow, which is probably the one that I would want to try out. And it just looks like a traditional neutral, almost like rosy but more neutral champagne. And it looks so gorgeous on the cheeks. On the model's cheeks, it looks stunning. So I really want to try these out eventually. They retail for around $13, and it says that they are long wear highlighters, heat, water, humidity, transfer resistant for glow that lasts all day, featuring buildable pigments for a soft lit from within glow to a radiant high shine finish. So that sounds really great. In the photos, they look more intense, but if you can share it out for something a bit more subtle, I'm all about it. Oh, something else that I thought was really cute for summer specifically. So there's a new freckle pen from Freckly. I've never heard of this brand. Or new Freckly freckle pen from, what's the brand? Pink Honey? I guess it's from Pink Honey. I've never heard of this brand, but it caught my attention because the shape of the applicator is so unique. It looks like a felt tip eyeliner, but with a little ball on the end, which I feel like is super cool, but I have some thoughts. First of all, if it has a little ball like this, then aren't all of the dots going to be the same size? And I feel like freckles are the most natural looking when they're different sizes because nobody just has a bunch of uniform dots all over their face. So I worry that that could make it look a little bit artificial. And my other worry would be that the little ball tip would dry out because it is a felt tip applicator. But I have to admit that it is very different and unique. I like the idea of it. And I also like the price. It's only $11, it seems like. So I would be interested to try it out just because I appreciate the originality of the idea of the shape and I like the price point. Also, it does have a lot of different colors, which is cool. Lastly, I did want to talk about a couple of eyeshadow palette releases that I'm really excited about. So Simply Posh has teased that they're releasing a new coastal palette, and I did see a teaser maybe like a month or so ago. It's been a while, where they had a photo of a couple shades with like a seashell and they were saying something new is coming, and it looked like the most gorgeous like sea foamy green blue. If I can find the picture, I will pop it up on the screen, but it literally spoke to my heart and I was like, okay, I need to watch out for this palette because I have a feeling I'm gonna love the color story. And I have never tried anything from Simply Posh, but I've heard such great things about it. I would be interested to pick that up maybe for Mother's Day. I don't know, but I do want to try out Simply Posh, their formula. Have any of you guys tried Simply Posh? What do you think? What is their formula like? Are they worth it? The packaging is not my favorite, I will be honest, but I do really like their color stories and I've heard their formula is good. So we'll see. Something that I was a little bit disappointed about, I'm not disappointed, but it just wasn't what I expected. BellaBeauteBar. It's another one of those brands that I do want to try out eventually because I've heard such great things about their formula. People rave about their mattes and their shimmers are supposed to be like otherworldly. So they were teasing a Secret Garden palette, and when they first teased it, the packaging was almost like a deep, warm, grungy green with like grungy mustardy yellow. So I was thinking that that was gonna be like the direction of the color story, and I was all for it. I was like, okay, this is what I'm getting for Mother's Day. This is what I'm gonna ask for because I really want to try this formula and these colors look right up my alley. But I will say they've released the color story since then, and I was a little bit surprised. I think the color story is pretty. Like, it has a bunch of really vibrant pinks and purples. It has some more like grassy green tones, not as warm as I was thinking. Also some like blue leaning greens, some teals, and then a row of neutrals that look very stunning. It just is a lot brighter than I thought it was going to be. A little bit more, yeah, just more bright. I mean, I think it does fit a spring theme. so it makes sense, but I just feel like the packaging was a little bit misleading. So I don't know, eventually I might be willing to pick it up and try it out, but I think the like shock of the color story just threw me and kind of disappointed me a little bit. But if you guys have seen this, what were your thoughts? Are you like super excited about this color story? Or were you like me and you thought it was gonna be like more warm greens and yellows? Let me know. Last but not least, Melt Cosmetics is releasing another Smoke Sessions collection. Okay, I saw somebody comment that Melt is like just making smoking like their whole identity, and I'm not trying to be mean, but honestly at this point I kind of agree. I don't know, it just seems so strange thing to like center your whole brand around. But anyway, that's what they're calling it. It's a really pretty purple color story, very vibrant. I will say though that a lot of the shades look very similar. It all looks very mid-tone to deep. There's not a lot of light shades, there's not a lot of contrast. A lot of the shimmers look pretty similar, and I don't know, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of variety in the formula. I do like Melt's formula. I will say I have their brunette palette, and the mattes are very blendable, very pigmented, and I have no complaints. Like the shimmers are very pretty as well. But I don't know, just doesn't look super intriguing to me, and I feel like the theming has already been done. The one thing that I would be interested to try from this collection are their gel liners. I love Melt's gel liners. I have the brown one, and it's very pigmented, very creamy, very smooth, super intense. If you like a gel liner, Melt does make really great ones, and they're launching like this chartreuse color which looks delicious, so unique and beautiful. So that is something that I'm like, okay, that looks good, that looks cute. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to mention. There are so many other things launching. There's probably more launching as I'm speaking right now. But I just wanted to sort of cherry pick a few that I was super excited about or that I had some thoughts on. Let me know in the comments what you are excited about. What are your thoughts on any of these launches? Are you going to be trying any? Are you going to be skipping them? Let me know. Please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.